What's going on, Imperials? Constructing a Pokémon team is no small task. Each region holds its own strengths and weaknesses, giving each team a unique style. No two trainers will have the same teams, and seeing how they build teams and what they've chosen can give you a unique look into the way they think. So, I'll be going through each region and putting my ideal team of favorites on display. I'll start with the Kalos region. Wait, why Kalos? It's not the oldest and it's not the newest. What gives? Well, there's a very good reason why I'm starting with Generation 6. You see, ever since I was a child, I always just assumed that the starters were the best at everything. It didn't matter what anyone else could do. If I was going to have an ideal team, I had to have all the starters, even if I didn't think they were that cool. I think Ash bears much of the blame for these unrealistic standards. But it wasn't until X and Y that I took a look at the roster and said, you know what? I like some of these other Pokémon better than the starters. So, Kalos was the region that made me reevaluate the selection techniques for all of my past teams, which is why it's going first. From the initial trailers, I was already eyeing Chespin. He seemed cute and interesting, and once I found out about Chestnut, I was hooked. Everyone and their mother was sick of firefighting types, so it was nice to have a grass one this time that was super buff. Not to mention that he had my favorite of the starter's new signature moves. Spiky Shield seemed so much more useful to me than either of the other two. As the best grass type, the best fighting type, and the best starter in Kalos, this tanky Chestnut was a clear choice as the leader for my team. Next came the fire type. I looked at Delphox and was unimpressed. Then I saw the other amazing fire types available, and that was the first moment I truly realized I was not holden to some arbitrary notion that I was forced to pick the starters. So I went with Talonflame, before he was being abused by every single person in competitive. He was a great partner for Chestnut, balancing out each other's strengths and weaknesses, and he always hit hard and fast. Plus, being the regional bird, he freed up another spot on my team that would have been devoted to the flying Pokémon. And he became even more useful when I needed to hatch eggs thanks to the Flame Body ability. Talonflame's varying uses proved truly indispensable in my journey through the Kalos region. Next was the water type, and again, I looked at my starter option and realized it wasn't for me. This whole revelation was quite freeing. I know many people that don't understand or appreciate this Pokémon, but I went with Barbaracle. I was fascinated when I first saw Binacle and knew that I had to have it. Most trainers aren't a fan of its design, but I thought it was at least an interesting concept, and his battle prowess more than made up for it. I must admit a certain sense of pride when I was battling a friend and sent him out to hear him exclaim, "What is that?" Tough Claw's Razor Shell cut down many an enemy in the Kalos region. And I never used to carry anyone with Surf on my party full time, but I did with Barbaracle and it was incredibly convenient. Even if most people don't like him, Barbaracle was perfectly suited to be the Kalos water type for me. Next, I had always thought fossil Pokémon were neat, but when I saw Tyrantrum, I knew I had to use him. It was an actual T-Rex brought back to life, whose sole purpose was to destroy my enemies. Having a dragon is always welcome, and being a rock type just made him that much more durable. Even if he's not the best performing or most powerful Mon in Kalos, I was able to use him in great effect during the story, and enjoyed every chomp along the way. Tyrantrum will forever be one of my favorites, and a Pokémon I add proudly to my Kalos Hall of Fame. The other fossil of the region was pretty great too, and I would have picked it if not for the only other ice type in the region. Avalugg is another Pokémon that some people seem hesitant about due to its design or maybe stats, but I was more than willing to add this frozen behemoth to my team. He wasn't available until late in the game, but once I caught a Bergmite and leveled it up once, he was good to go. His defense is through the roof, and he had decent moves to capitalize on his low speed, such as Avalanche and Gyro Ball. Not to mention he has Rapid Spin to clear away hazards. Whether he's a turtle or a table, This Icecraft carrier was a great addition and it fit perfectly with everyone else on my team. And that was about it. There were so few new Pokemon in Kalos that I didn't really look into anything else. I just figured I'd try out a new Mega Charizard or something. But the moment I caught a Honedge and put it on my team, I knew what the missing piece was. Not only are Honedge's defenses extremely high, being a Steel type, but he had no less than 3 immunities to common types. At first I just kept him around as a wall, but I soon realized that he had his fair share of attacking prowess as well. And once he finally turned into an Aegislash, there was no stopping this armored apparition. Stance Change was an amazing ability to use. He proved invaluable throughout the end of the game and against the Elite Four, solidifying his spot as the final Pokemon on my team in Kalos. Collecting this band of monsters excited me and made me want to go back with my newfound views and see how it made me reevaluate my Pokemon teams of old. So, those are my favorite Pokemon from the Kalos region. So, if I've ever had a problem with one of your favorites, now's your chance to get back at me down in the comments. Also, be sure to leave a like, share this video, and subscribe so that you too can become an Imperial today. And we'll see you around next time!